So this is Halloween 2021. Just to give some preliminary, I did kind of go all out, but I did not do all the rooms that I normally do. I didn't do the hall, I didn't do the stairwell, didn't do the kitchen or bathroom. I just did a little bit on the front porch and a little bit on the balcony, and then mostly the living room and my bedroom. So it's scaled down because of that. I'm going to do it room by room. So this is the living room, starting with the archway that's in plum. Here in the living room I did purple and black. That's the theme in terms of color. And a lot of things that we've done before, pretty much. This is the focal point. I've done the web on the ceiling before, did not do it with a chandelier beneath it. And it didn't really look right until I put up this creepy cloth with the lights around it, and then it really looked like it belonged. The chandelier and the web itself were too mismatched in nature, but the creepy cloth really brought it together. Lost some of the lights. 3 of the 5 strands did not work, so I ended up having 2, and then could not find purple lights to replace them, so I just had to make the most of it. And I've got, so this is all Spider, and this I've got Spike and his 2 buddies, one there and one there, ready to drop down on you. This focal point here, where above the television, really at first I struggled with it, but it turned out fabulous. I'm going to turn on the light here so you can kind of see. And there, in this photograph that looks blue, but it's actually purple, which I've done before. Except I used, instead of castle wall, I used the black in the lower half and then purple up above, and stamped it black. Nothing special about that. But when I went to hang this gauze light, and to replace, because normally there's a substantial ship picture right there and the seahorse above it, so it's a very big picture, and these pictures weren't big enough to really fill that spot. All of this was really empty. And then I got my old bats out that I had originally hung from the kitchen ceiling, and I fought with them that year to get them to hang properly. Originally they were designed with adhesive on the other side, because they were originally intended to hang on the wall, to stick on the wall, and then kind of, when you bend the wings, just kind of stand out from the wall like that. That's how they were originally made and what they were originally intended for. But I had never used them that way because I wanted them hanging from the ceiling. But in this instance, I decided to take away all of their hanging and apparatus, and actually using the Velcro command strips, stick them to the wall like they were supposed to. And it turned out really great, because the way that this gauze light is hanging is almost like bat wings. It's spread out just kind of like bat wings, and I didn't really intend that because it was hanging first before I decided to put the bats up. And it ended up being a great mimic of the bat wings. Quite unintentional, but it came out really nicely. And brought the fuzzy spiders up and mixed it all in there, and it really worked. Bought this wonderful bouquet of flowers, and I was concerned because, you know, they're not real, but they don't look dead either. And so I was afraid that they would be too peppy, but really they blend into the wall nice enough so that they don't really offend. And then the Constitution I put on the wall, and it actually looks pretty nice there with that background. And rehung the black curtains. Didn't really do anything special with the lantern this year. Just put some webbing and some spiders on the outside of it. This is my pride and joy this year. I got a actual candelabra, and it looks amazing in this setting. I have done this kind of thing before, where I had the purple panel lights behind, but in the other instance I had some other fabric that was coming down, so I needed something because the ship pictures just didn't go. So I found this guy at Menards, and he had a bow tie and was a little bit formal because he had a bow tie, and he's silver, so I hung him there. I'd like it even better if he had a top hat, but he's okay for now. So, and then old Owl just still doing his thing, and violin and stuff, bowls ready for snacks. And then up here I put the angry candle with all of the ship paraphernalia. Couldn't entirely get away from the ship paraphernalia, I just have too much of it, but that's okay. But here in the aquarium, of course last year was fabulous. I did Bubbles in his lair, and it was fabulous. Didn't quite achieve that level of wow with this, but didn't do too badly. I've got John Doe here, who I affectionately call JD, hanging from the tree, and there's green light eerily coming up from the rocks beneath. And just spread out the tunes here in the rock, aquarium rock, rather than just having it on the grass. And it actually brought kind of a harsh look to it that really worked. The only thing that's a problem for me is that JD is standing so far above the aquarium. You can see he's hanging above the aquarium, and it kind of messes with the overall look. But I was happy enough to get that much accomplished, because when I went online and Googled how to tie a noose, it kicked me over into intervention prevention hotlines, so I was happy that no police showed up at my door trying to stop me from doing something morbid. And just have a simple candles here in the middle, and with the carriage lamp. And that's the living room. So we'll move on to the bedroom next.